So, what's up, everyone? Steve here. So for today's video, I'm going to be talking about, I'm going to be talking about something that I don't think, well, I think there is, but I don't think there's not much of that being, character conversations. So in other words, seeing or having like two fictional characters from two different series that are very similar to each other, um, talking or like having like dialogue between one another. And the reason why I want to talk about this is because usually of course I like watching because the reason most of the time of course when it comes to like I don't know fictional characters like or fiction pretty much, usually of course people will always do like death battles or essentially putting two fictional characters against each other where it's either obviously one sided of like who's gonna win, or it's a battle of attrition of course, which is hella entertain which is very entertaining. But one thing I haven't really seen much of, which I would probably love to see more of, that being instead of like putting instead of putting in two characters against one another, like since you're having death battle, have these characters actually have a conversation with each other, some dialogue to see like what they like think of each other, of course, and also what they would like talk about. And an example probably that I'll use is Nolan, aka Army Man from Invincible, and 2B from Naya Animatics. I think that's how you pronounce it. I probably have to yeah, I think that's how you pronounce it. Yeah, like I would like to see, like example those two. I would like to see dialogue between these two. Have them just talking pretty much. Like putting them against each other, it's obvious who's gonna win. Like I don't have to it's obvious. But I would like to see how these two, how like I don't know, how Nolan will react, and also what was his, and yeah, how would he react, and also his response was like meeting, to be of course, or generally there's many ways of like how you can start this conversation. Of course, that being was like, what if pretty much like I don't know, Nolan like goes up to Earth of course to like to like trying to find a species, still looking for like a species that could be compatible to Viltrumites, and during and it either be like either when he first arrived, of course, does see this people or humanoid looking beings. However, they're not humans, of course, but rather androids, which is kind of probably disappoint him since he saw Earth may have species may have species that may be compatible, of course. And also, I would like to see how like 2B and like the androids, how they would react and respond to like seeing another species or seeing a very human looking a being who's very human looking but isn't human at all, like that's something I would love to see, of course. And I feel like that's something I would like to see, seeing two characters of course who are either very similar, of course, or either very similar to each other, or generally the injury or generally the interaction with one another, would be, or either that or the interaction with one another would be very interesting to like to be just to listen to, and I feel like it's something I feel like there's not much of course, even though it would be very entertaining, maybe more so of like than like the death battles pretty much. But yeah, that's generally all I have to say for today. So yeah, bye bye.